Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. So this is a Blu-ray label that we have here in the UK, and it's been going since about 2009, so it has been going for quite a long time. But the label actually used to do DVDs starting in 2005, and then from 2009 onwards they did it in dual format, so DVD and Blu-ray, but most of the latest ones have just been in the Blu-ray format. Currently there are about, I believe, about 240 titles in the collection. They're all spine numbered, and I actually have 20 in terms of the spine numbers, but I have 18 Blu-rays because one of them has 3 films in one, but you'll find out in a minute. So yes, I really like this label. They do lots of films from around the world, lots of critically acclaimed films. I think all the films I have here are excellent. It's not a collection I'll be looking to complete simply because a lot of them are out of print, so if I wanted to complete it I'd have to buy lots of them second hand on the used market for quite a lot of money, and also it would obviously be expensive, and there are lots of films here that I've never heard of and I'm not necessarily interested in checking out. So without further ado, I'll talk through my collection. So first of all, I have spine number 1, which is Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans. This is from 1927, and it's actually a really nice film, bit of a romantic story. Obviously, since it's a silent film, the story isn't too complex, but it is a very nice film, so I'll show you inside. So this one's actually a Blu-ray and a DVD. As you can see, it's got 2 DVD discs, 1 Blu-ray, a nice little booklet there as well. Really nice film, really enjoyed it. Oh dear, I'm starting to mess this up already. So the problem when I do these videos, I end up breaking something. There we go, that's okay. Right, so on to the next one. I have spine number 9, which is M. So I actually only watched this for the first time the other day and was very impressed by it. So this is a sound film that's from 1931. It's actually a German thriller starring Peter Lorre. Really excellent performance. I would open it up and show it again, but I'm going to make a mess of it. But basically, this one also Blu-ray and DVD, but really nice presentation. And yes, actually, a very gripping film, even if it does have English subtitles and it's obviously in a foreign language. I'd still recommend checking this one out. It's a really excellent classic movie. Next up, I have spine number 25, which is Touch of Evil. So this is a thriller directed by and also starring Orson Welles along with Charlton Heston and Janet Leigh. Really great film actually. In terms of the way it's filmed, really is beautiful looking. We get this fantastic opening sequence in this film where this bomb is strapped to this car with a timer on it. You know it's about to go off, and we follow the camera going through the streets sort of waiting for this bomb to explode. Real gripping stuff. I did find the plot to this film is a little bit complicated, a bit convoluted. I must say that what I really like, this has 5 different versions of it in different aspect ratios from different years. So yeah, really excellent movie though, definitely worth a watch. So next up I have, this next one's probably my favourite in the collection actually, spine number 44. Double Indemnity. This is a film noir from the 1940s, Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck, and this is directed by Billy Wilder. Really gripping film about this woman who basically convinces this man to help murder her husband in order to get some insurance money from a double indemnity clause. Really excellent stuff. I was gripped the whole way through. I would really recommend this movie. It's absolutely fantastic. So next up we have spine number 45, which is another film directed by Billy Wilder, which is The Lost Weekend, starring Ray Milland. This film's a lot darker than Double Indemnity. It's Ray Milland, he plays an alcoholic in the film, and it's just a very quite a gritty film actually, very dark, but it does give a deep insight into addiction, and I think it does it very well. It must have been quite a taboo or hard to tackle subject at the time, so in many ways this film could be seen as quite ahead of its time, but it's actually a really good watch, and Ray Milland's absolutely excellent in it, so this is another really excellent movie. So next up I have spine number 52, which is The Birth of a Nation. So this is the oldest film I've ever seen really, came out in 1915, directed by D.W. Griffith, and it's a really long film. It's over 3 hours, so a lot of people may not want to watch this one. It is a controversial film. It's set during the American Civil War and does deal with the KKK. So yeah, it's a film which has been controversial for quite a lot of years, but it is still a very grand, a very epic film in terms of the filmmaking, very much ahead of its time, and a very excellent movie, very gripping story. So yes, I would recommend this one if it sounds like your kind of thing. Next up we have Spy Number 80, which is Nashville. So this film came out in 1975, directed by Robert Altman. The film has a real ensemble cast, and to be honest, not really much of a plot to it. It's very much one of those films that is more about the characters and the interactions. It all builds up to this political rally at the end, where we have these country music stars. It does have some excellent songs in it, but it is quite a long film, if I'm honest. It's probably one of my least favourite ones in the collection. It does have a charm to it, but yeah, it's certainly not going to grip everyone, this film. However, if it sounds like something you'd like, definitely still check this one out. And next up we have Spy Number 82, which is Ace in the Hole. So this is another one directed by Billy Wilder, starring Kirk Douglas. This is an excellent movie. The movie really shows the role of the media in portraying stories and getting stories across, while also thinking about the people involved. I won't say too much more about it, but yeah, I think Kirk Douglas is brilliant, and just the sort of the message, the story, very timeless, and it's just a spectacular movie. I really enjoyed this one. I really think this is a brilliant film. So next up we have Spy Number 98, which is The Thief of Baghdad. So it's a silent film from 1924, starring Douglas Fairbanks as this Arabian prince. Well, actually, he's not a prince at first. He's more of a beggar. This film is very much an Arabian Nights fantasy. It's quite similar to Aladdin, really, that type of story, and I really enjoyed it. We get some excellent sequences. Very entertaining film, though I will say it is pretty long. It's about 2.5 hours long, which is fairly long, and added to that, obviously, it's a silent film as well. So it might not appeal to everyone, but I personally really love this movie. So next up, we have Spy Number 99, which is Intolerance. Love struggle throughout the ages. This is another silent movie, came out in 1916, and another very long movie, but I do really like this one. It has 4 separate storylines: Babylonian, French Renaissance, present day being 1916, and the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And all 4 storylines, they build up to a similar theme throughout the end, and really the theme throughout this film is between love and hate and social justice. It's all done very well. Some of the stories aren't as interesting as others, though. The Babylonian is my personal favourite. It has some really spectacular scenes in it, and we get this really big grand sets with loads of extras, and I can really appreciate this movie. I really did enjoy this one. Next up we have Spy Number 123, which is Shane. So this is a Western from 1953, and it's one of my favourite Westerns of all time. I think Alan Ladd is absolutely superb in it. It's this guy who comes to this town, and there's this people that are causing trouble. It really is an excellent, brilliant story. All the performances are great, particularly Jack Palance as well, and Jean Arthur. Beautiful cinematography as well. Spectacular looking film. I love this film. So next up we have Spy Number 125, which is The Quiet Man. So I actually only watched this for the first time a couple of days ago, and I think it's a great film. John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. John Wayne plays an American with Irish roots who comes back to buy this cottage in Ireland. He falls in love with Maureen O'Hara's character. However, there's a bit of trouble because his brother doesn't like him, so we get this sort of feud start to develop throughout the film. Another film that has great cinematography. It's directed by John Ford. I really thought this film was excellent. So next up we have Spy Number 151, which is Kes. So this is a British film directed by Ken Loach from 1969. This film is set up in the north of England in Barnsley. It's about this boy. He has this pet kestrel, but it's actually more about the boy's story, about him growing up, wondering what he wants to do when he's older. Just shows his life at school. and what his relationships are like. It's a very realistic film, has a real documentary feel to it. Although I have to say I did slightly struggle with understanding the northern dialect in this film, and obviously I'm actually English myself and I still struggled with it, so I think a lot of people may struggle with the dialect, so I actually watched this with the subtitles on, but it is worth it anyway. It is a fantastic film, just a really nice snapshot of this time and this place in this film with great performances. Really fantastic movie. So next up we have Spy Number 155, which is Part of Glory. So this is directed by Stanley Kubrick, stars Kirk Douglas as this French colonel in World War One. This film is incredible. It's very much an anti-war film, although the war scenes in it really only last about 10 minutes or so. There isn't actually very much battle scene. It's more about the tactics used by one of the generals in this film, and really the morality of it, about what is going on. We get this excellent courtroom scene. Really is a very thought-provoking movie, very well directed by Kubrick. Quite a short film as well. It's only 88 minutes long, but this is definitely an excellent movie. I would say it's one of Kubrick's best, but I think Kubrick's done so many great films, it's hard to say. But yeah, definitely worth a watch, this one. Right, now we come to the one which is 3 movies in one, Spy Numbers 172 to 174. So this is 3 Buster Keaton movies, Sherlock Jr., The General, and Steamboat Bill Jr. 3 silent movies from the 1920s, and they're all really good fun, really excellent. Buster Keaton does excellent stunts in these films. I think The General in particular is an excellent movie, probably one of the best silent movies ever made. It's a film where he's on this train, and there's all these fantastic chase sequences with these stunts. Really is just amazing to watch. Thinking these films came out in the 1920s, I'd really recommend picking this one up. Okay, so now we come to Spy Number 196, which is Laura. So this is another really amazing movie. I know I keep saying that, but we have lots of good movies here. So it's a film noir from the 1940s, directed by Otto Preminger. This is an excellent story, excellent sort of mystery film, makes you try to work out what is going on and who is at fault and who is causing the problems. Dana Andrews is very good in this film as a police detective, and Jean Tierney as Laura, the title character, gives a great performance. And this film also stars Vincent Price as well, who is quite interesting in this movie as well. So yeah, this is definitely worth a watch. Right, nearly done, guys. So this is Spy Number 208, which is High Noon. So this is a Western, Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly, and it's about this man who is the sheriff in a town. He has these men coming to town about to cause trouble, and well, Gary Cooper's character, the sheriff, he's trying to round up everybody in town to help him, but nobody wants to help him. So it's all building up towards this scene at the end of the film. And what is interesting about this film is actually shot, and what is interesting about this film is that this film is in real time, which means that from the start of the film to the end of the film, the exact amount of time has taken place as when you are watching it. Don't know if I've explained that very well, but that's basically how I see it. So it's building up to noon, which is towards the end of the film. This is another film which is actually fairly short. It's only 85 minutes. I'll be honest, not one of my favourite westerns, simply because of the lack of action, but the film is more about building up that tension and setting that scene, setting that atmosphere, and in that respect, it does this extremely well. So now on to the final one, which is Spy Number 218, which is The African Queen. Now you might have noticed this is in a different packaging. It's in a box, and that's because this is actually a limited edition version of it. This limited edition is now out of print, so if you want to pick this up, you can only get the standard version. The standard version is literally just the Blu-ray on its own, if it'll let me do this. So there you go, so that's the individual Blu-ray. You might notice this is in a blue case, whereas the others are in a clear case. In fact, it was The Lost Weekend that came in a blue case, and I switched them around simply because this is in a box, so it's not as noticeable. These are supposed to come in clear cases, but one of them didn't. What are you going to do? But anyway, this is The African Queen, Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. Brilliant film, beautiful cinematography, about this boat that's going down the river in German East Africa, in World War One. I think it is World War One, is it? Yeah. Sorry, I was just checking there on the back. I didn't want to make a mistake, but yeah, that's right. So this is a nice film, more about the relationship between the two of them. Just a really beautiful film, really beautiful story. I think Katharine Hepburn is absolutely fantastic, as is Bogart. And actually, this film won Bogart his only acting Oscar. But in terms of the limited edition version, I'll just show you. It also comes with this very nice booklet. You can see here. Anyway, I won't show you the whole thing, but anyway, that is very nice, and obviously comes in this box here, which is very good. What I'm not too keen on is that they come with these J cards. Yeah, I never really know what to do with these. I don't really want to throw them away since it seems a waste, but it's always a bit annoying when it's just hanging on to the end of it, and I'm just thinking I want to chuck it, but yeah, I'll just keep it just in case I regret it, basically. But I'm just putting this back now. But so there we go. So that's The African Queen, another fantastic film directed by John Huston as well. So there we go, guys. So thank you all for watching. So that is my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. They do tend to be fairly expensive. It's one of these labels that doesn't really tend to do many deals. I probably will pick some more up. There are some other great films in the collection. However, it's definitely one which, as I said, I'm not looking to complete. But since I have a fair amount now, I thought I would show you them in this video. So yes, I would recommend this label. I know they're available in the UK certainly, so it definitely is worth picking up. Although this is a label they don't seem to do at many of the retail outlets. It normally is one which you can only seem to get online on the websites. Obviously there is the Eureka website, or obviously other websites as well. But yeah, so if you like the look of that, please feel free to get those. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please comment if you would like to add anything to what I have said. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you're well, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.